Good morning, students. Let us study about the exercise of chapter 1st, class 8 English literature. In the previous videos, I have explained the chapter, and now I am going through the exercises given in the textbook. So, the first exercise A question first is, on which topic were the people at Dabney's having a discussion? So I have explained the story and you understood, I hope, that about what topic the people were discussing and what they listened, who explained the story. All you have understood, I think. Answer first is, the people at Dabney's were having a discussion on events which cannot be explained by natural causes. The people at Dabney's were having a discussion on an event, a happening which cannot be explained by natural causes, or naturally it cannot be explained. The second question is, what kind of experience did the little man narrate? What kind of experience did the little man narrate? Means, what did the storyteller narrated? So second answer is, the little man narrated an event that happened to him personally and which, strangely enough, completed itself that very afternoon. So the little man narrated an event that happened to him personally and which, strangely enough, it was a strange story. It was a strange story, and the story itself completed the same afternoon. So this will be the second answer. Now the third question is, what did the little man find on the wall of his room? What did the little man find on the wall of his room? So you all know, what did he found? What did he find? The little man found a face on the wall of his room. The man, where he was lying on his bed, he saw a patch on the wall, and that patch was looking like a face on the wall. So you easily can write the answer in this way, that the little man found a face on the wall of his room. Fourth question is, what convinced the little man that a real man with a face like that on the wall existed? Where all did he try to look for that man? What convinced the little man that a real man with a face like that on the wall exists? Means, how did the little man became sure about the face on the wall, that the man whose face was looking on the wall, the man was existed? And the second part of this question is, where all did he try to look for the man? And in order to look for the man, what did the little man do? So its answer will be, after looking at the face on the wall for a long time, the little man felt that a real man with the same face must exist. he looked continuously towards the face on the wall, and he concluded that the man face on the wall may exist somewhere in the world, and he started searching on the streets for him. He also went to he also went to places where people gathered. He also went to places where people gathered, like political meetings, football matches, and railway stations, but he could not find the man. But his search was useless. So, in this way, you can write the answer of this question. Now, the fourth question is, where did he find the man he was looking for? Why was he surprised to look at the visiting card of the man? Where did he find the man he was looking for? Where did he find the man he was looking for? And why was he surprised to look at the visiting card? Why was he surprised to look at the visiting card of the man? Its answer will be, the little man found the man in a taxi driving seat along Piccadilly. I have explained this, that he found the man in a taxi driving towards Piccadilly, and he was surprised when he saw the man's visiting card, and the little man was surprised when he saw the visiting card of that man. On it was written, because it was written his name, Mr. Ormond Wall, with an address of Pittsburgh, USA. He was surprised because in that card his name was printed Ormond Wall, and there was address of Pittsburgh, USA. And he was surprised. You know why he was surprised? Because Ormond Wall, the same name resembled to the street's name where he saw the man's face on the wall. Now, the next question is, on second exercise. Now we come to go through the second exercise. We will go through the second exercise, and this is answer the question with reference to the context. There are reference to the context, and you may write its reference, that these lines have been taken from the lesson, the face on the wall, and the writer of the chapter you may write here as E.V. Lucas. The chapter as written by E.V. Lucas, and you may go through then the words. I may say that, the words are, I may say that it filled my thoughts day and night. I may say that it filled my thought day and night. So these are the lines of the comprehension passage, and the first question of this passage is, who is I in the sentence? What is it that filled the speaker's thought? Who is I in the sentence? You can very easily write the answer. I is the little man. I is the little man in the sentence, and the second part is what is it that filled the speaker's thought. The face on the wall filled the speaker's thought, or you may write in this way that it is the face on the wall that filled the speaker's thought. It is the face on the wall that filled the speaker's thought. You may write its answer. What is it that filled the speaker's thought? You can write in this way that it is the face on the wall that filled the speaker's thought. You may write the answer in this way. The second question is, what kind of thought did it fill? And the speaker's mind. What kind of thought did it fill the speaker's mind? This is the question. What kind of thought did it fill the speaker's mind? So, what thought did the speaker's mind fill? The little man found a curious curve of the nose and the forehead of the face on the wall quite remarkable. The little man found a curious curve of the nose and the forehead of the face on the wall quite remarkable. He was convinced that the man really exists. And this thought filled the speaker's mind. You may write the answer in this way. Third question is, what did it keep the speaker occupied day and night? Means, what is the thing that the speaker kept on his mind day and night? Why was the speaker thinking day and night, and what was he was thinking day and night? You may write the answer. The little man was suffering from influenza. Influenza is a disease, as I have told you, a brain disease, a thinking, contagious respiratory disease. Influenza is a contagious respiratory disease. Means he was he had some problem and had nothing to do all the day long except to read and think. The little man was suffering from influenza and he did not do anything. Only he read the books and he thought about the face on the wall. It was then that the face get firmer hold on him and grew more real and remarkable for him. As he was thinking about the face and he did not do anything, he was thinking about the face and he read the books, because there was the face on the wall in his mind, and that face had set up in his mind firmly, and it grew real and remarkable for him. That face became remarkable for the little man. It kept the speaker occupied day and night, and that's why the speaker was thinking day and night continuously. So you may write the answer in this way. The second exercise, read the lines, is I never looked at women. I never looked at women. I never looked at women. You may write the reference as usual. This line has been taken from the lesson. The Face on the Wall, written by E.V. Lucas. And its first question is, who is the speaker in the sentence? I never looked at women. So you can write its answer. And who had looked at women? This is very easy answer. That the little man was looking at the woman. The little man was looking at the woman. Or the storyteller, you may write here. The little man or a storyteller is looking to the woman, and you may write the answer that the little man or the storyteller is the speaker in the sentence. The second question is, why did the speaker never looked at woman? Why did the speaker never looked at woman? Answer is, the speaker never looked at woman because he was searching for the face on the wall, which was a man's face. The speaker never looked at woman because he was looking for the man whose face was on the wall, and it was man's face. So in order to, you may write by your own also, in order to find out the man's face on the wall, he was looking at the woman's face. Now the next question is, was the speaker looking for someone in particular? If yes, whom? Was the speaker looking for someone in particular? If yes, then whom? Whom he was looking? Yes, answer is yes, the speaker was looking for a man. Yes, the speaker was looking for the man with the face on the wall. So you may write the answer that the speaker was looking for the man with the face on the wall. So in this way you can solve second, read the line. Now what is about the third, read the line? The third, read the line is, exercise C. Holding the card tight in my hand, I hurried to a lonely corner of the ship and read it. Holding the card tight in my hand. Who was holding the card? You know that the little man was holding the card tightly, and in order to read the card, he stood at a corner in the ship. Reference will be as usual. These lines have been taken from the lesson The Face on the Wall, written by E.V. Lucas. The first question is, which card was the speaker holding in his hand? Which card was speaker? The speaker was holding the card given to him by a man with the face on the wall. So you know that he was holding the card which was given by a man whose face was on the wall, whose face was resembling to the face on the wall. So in this way you can write the answer. The second question is, why was the card important for a speaker? Why was the card important for the speaker? You may write the answer in this way. The card was important for the speaker because it revealed the identity of the man who occupied the little man's thoughts day and night? The card was important for the speaker because it revealed the identity of the man who occupied the little man's thoughts day and night. You may write the answer in this way. Now, the third question is, do you believe in the occurrence of incidences which cannot be supported by science or logic? Do you believe in the occurrences happening of the incidences which cannot be supported by science or logic? Discuss in the class. We have to discuss this. So its answer will be, after reading the card, the little man's eyes grew dim. He surprised. After reading the card, the little man was surprised, and his head reeled, and his head was gidding. He remembered nothing more until he found himself in a hospital at Bolgan. So, as he read the card, he was surprised, and he at least became unconscious, and he found himself admitted in a hospital at Bolgan. So, in this way, you may write the answer of the given question. Now, you all have understood the answers. You have to write these answers in your fair notebooks. Thank you, students.
Hello everyone. Today's topic is irrigation. It is the part of science class 8 chapter 1st, crop production and management. In the last video, I would explain some traditional process of agricultural practices. This process is very important for crops. So, here we discussed what is irrigation. Irrigation means supplying water to the crops in the field at specific intervals. What do you mean specific intervals of crops? A specific interval means time to time water supplying when crops requirements water. Next is importance of water for crops. First is germination of seed does not take place without water because cover of seed is very hard. When water entered in these cover, seeds were soft and capable to generating power. Next is the root fall to develops and elongate in dry soil. Because water make the dry soil soft and roots enter in soil and grow up. Next is the nutrients cannot move up from the soil in the absence of water because nutrients move up from the mixing condition of water. When nutrients mix in water, it converts capillary waters and its capillary water absorbed by plants in help of root hairs. These root hairs supply the water in other parts of plant. Next is the it protect the plant from frost and hot air currents. Water provide the plants wetness and moisture. These moistures or wetness help the plants hot air currents. Then water is essential for proper growth and development of crop plants. Mix the nutrients made capillary water and its water absorbed by plants from the soil through the root system with the help of root hairs. Next is the main traditional methods of irrigation. Here we discussed which type method used by farmers for the irrigations. In these methods, cattle or human labors is used. Without cattle and human labors, not complete these methods. Hence, these structures show different types methods of irrigation. These are, first we see Mowat method. Mowat method is, in this methods farmers take the water in large pot, then irrigate the fields. Next is the chain pump. In this method, in large pipes like structures, flow the water and irrigate the crops. Next is the rahat. Rahat is the oldest method. It is possible with the help of ox or camel. So it is difficult method of irrigation. Next is the Dakli. Dakli so difficult as well as rahat. In these four structures, you all understand which type method used in olden time. Some of modern irrigation methods are follows. Olden time methods are Mowat, chain pump, rahat and Dakli are more difficult and waste the time, but beneficial condition are low. But in the modern methods, irrigation is so easily and time wastage is less. According to modern methods, these are two types. First is, so this structure is sprinkler methods or sprinkler system. These methods which water is sprinkled over the field by rotating sprinkler. These sprinkler work in permanently rotate condition and water contains around us. These method the water flow the main pipe and then to small many pipes with the help of pump. This method is good for uneven lands and with less availability of water and sandy region. The next method is drip irrigation. So the first structure, drip irrigation methods. It is the method by which water is allowed to only one or root drop by drop. The method is excellent because these methods applied low water availability, as in the method there is wastage of water is low capacity. So drip irrigation method is more important than sprinkler system because it reuse the wastage water and supply the proper condition of plant's roots. So we all know sprinkler system and drip irrigation method both are modern methods, but drip irrigation method is better than sprinkler system. Next process of agriculture practices is weeding. But first we are discussed what is weeds. Weeds are unwanted and uncultivated plants that grow along with the crops plant or middle the crops plant. These plants are not grown by the farmers. Its plant grow on self. For example, cholai, it is the common name cholai, bathua and javi. But the scientific name is cholai is amaranthus, bathua is Chenopodium and javi is wild oat. Chenopodium or bathua and cholai is importance for vegetables some places, but when it grow up in larger value it convert in weeds. Now we discussed what is weeding. The process of removing weeds from a field is called weeding. We all know what is weeds. Weeds are unwanted and uncultivated plants. Weeding is also done by spraying special chemicals called herbicides or weedicides with the help of sprayers. Some common weedicides is Delapon and Metacolor, etc. These are used removing the weeds in the process of weeding. Crops are also damaged by many other systems as like long animal such as cows, goats and birds and small animals such as mice and rats and insects such as locusts and weevils. These small animals like mice and rats called rodents and which chemical agents used these rodents killing called rodenticides and which chemicals use killing the insects called insecticides. Insecticides used in the form of spraying. It is the common method of waste the insects. When the composition of weedicides and rodenticides and insecticides together are called pesticides. Pesticides are harmful chemicals for crops and environment. These are contaminated soils, water and airs and our health. So it is very harmful chemical. So as it is possible, it's not used in larger amount. We used some plants products whose plays important roles in controlling pest. It is not harmful and can be reduced pests. Some insects are used as a pesticides. They can be control pest, for example, ladybug feed, and some plants are used to control insects, for example, Nepenthes, Drosera, and Utricularia. These plants control the insects' growth. Here we complete the processes of agricultural practices. When crops are mature, the next process of practices agriculture. It is harvested, cut and gathered or stored. But when crops pass through of many processes, then it is stored. Some processes are given below. First process or harvesting, second is threshing, and last is winnowing. And important process or storing. Here we discussed what is harvesting and which type tools used in process of harvesting. Harvested means cut the crops of field by using a machines called harvesters. It is the modern method of cropping cutting. In the olden age, farmers cut in manual process by the help of laborers, but it used larger time and waste money. But in the harvested process, its process complete very easily and less time. Next is the threshing. After cutting the grains or crops, separation of grains from cut crops by using the machines called thresher or combine. Its process called threshing. The next step is winnowing. The process of separation the grains from the chaff with the help of wind, called winnowing process. In this process, wind uses mostly artificially or naturally. Normally wind used artificially because naturally wind is low power, but the artificial wind is strong wind. It regulates strongly and help the separation of grains with the chaff. So these structure, so showing these first three structure, the process of threshing, winnowing and harvesting. These structure we show the thresher and winnowing tools. In the third structure, workers winnowed the crops and separate the grains with the presence of ears of chaff. The last process of crop management is storage or gathering. It is the most important process. If farmer not stored in properly, so waste his all processes. It is not possible to sell the entire harvested produce at one time because products are large amount. The produce has to be stored in a clean places under proper conditions, but not in same place because different agriculture produce need different kinds of storage facilities, different temperatures and different places. Some vegetables and fruits are preserved in cold storage or by refrigeration process because it needs low temperatures in make safely long time. Cold storage or big rooms or halls in which minimum temperature or freezing temperature is maintained. Some food products are kept safe and fresh in cold storage and supply is done out of season also. We know that we all vegetables and fruits are available in every time or without season. Help of cold storage. If cold storage is not sufficient, vegetables and fruits are not available in other seasons. So, cold storage or refrigeration process is very important for us. Now, we discussed large amount of grains because grains are mature condition or dried condition, so it's required high temperatures, so it's safely in godowns or large big rooms which temperatures are high. The next figure we show large granaries and silos are which grains are stored in large amount. These godowns called granaries and grain silos. The granaries are fumigated. Fumigated means treated and with chemical vapors in time to time. These chemical vapors help the grains of insects. These are used as insecticides or pesticides. These places are also regulatory inspected to protect the grain and ensure safe storage. So, safeness or storage are long process of farmers. Here we see fumigated process But in the olden age, farmers used mix chemically powder safeness of insects, but these powders are harmful because these are enters our bodies and harmful for us. But in the chemical process or chemical vapors or fumigated process are much safe than chemicals powders. So different agricultural produce used different kinds of storage facilities, and we save the grains or vegetables or fruits in proper time and use time to time when you require. The next topic is food from animals. It is the part of agriculture. These means rearing of animals in naturally or chemically. So these explanation we discussed in next video. Now you all write some homeworks and do very well. Right, first question is, what is importance of irrigation in crops? Question second, what happened if water is not available in sufficient value? Next question is, why drip irrigation is better than sprinkler system? Next is difference between pesticide and insecticides. And last question is, write the some difficult words and search these word meanings. First is fumigated. Repeating again, fumigated. Next is granaries. Next is rodents. Next is weeds. And last is pesticides.
Now come to the third property, closure property under multiplication. Closure property under multiplication. We can verify it by taking two rational numbers, say 2/3 into 7/5. That will be equal to 14/15. Again a rational number. In this way we can say that closed rational numbers are closed under multiplication. Okay, Now come to the fourth property, closure property under division. Closure property under division. We can verify it by taking two examples. Let us take a rational number 5 upon 3 divided by another rational number 4 upon 3. That will be equal to 5 upon 3 multiplied by 3 upon 4. That will be equal to 5 upon 4. Again a rational number. A rational number. Let us take another example. For any rational number x, x divided by 0 is not defined. So rational numbers are not closed under division. So rational numbers are not closed under division. However, if we exclude 0 from the collection of rational numbers, all other rational numbers are closed under division. Now come to the next property, that is commutative property. We will test commutative property on rational numbers for operation, addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Okay. Start. B part is commutative property. Commutative property. Rational numbers are commutative under addition. Verification. We can verify commutative property under addition for rational numbers. Take two rational numbers such as 2 upon 3 and 1 upon 3 is equal to 1 upon 3 plus 2 upon 3. 3 upon 3 is equal to 3 upon 3 is equal to 1 is equal to 1. LHS is equal to RHS. It means two rational numbers can be added in any order. Therefore, two rational numbers can be added in any order. Okay, student, we are studying commutative property. In commutative property, we know that if we add two rational numbers in any order, the result we get same, then we can say that the numbers are commutative under addition. Here we take two rational numbers, one is 2 upon 3 and second is 1 upon 3, and add it. That will be give you 3 upon 3, that is 1. On right hand side, reverse the order, 1 upon 3 plus 2 upon 3, and when we add it, 3 upon 3, and that is 1. LHS is equal to RHS. It means two rational numbers can be added in any order. Now, second, rational numbers are not commutative under subtraction. Rational numbers are not commutative under subtraction. We can verify it by taking an example. If we take two rational numbers such as 4 upon 7 minus 3 upon 7 is equal to, reverse the order of the number, 3 upon 7 minus 4 upon 7. This will give you 1 upon 7 is equal to minus 1 upon 7. Here reverse is not same. 1 upon 7 not equal to minus of 1 upon 7. In this way, we can say that two rational numbers cannot be added any order.
अब मतलब टॉपिक खाती हो बताओ खाती हो ठीक
Two rational numbers are not
no
two rational numbers are not added in any order. Sorry. LHS not equal to RHS. And therefore we can say that rational numbers cannot be subtracted in any order. Now come to the third point. The third point is rational numbers are commutative under multiplication. Under multiplication, we can verify it by taking example. If we take 2 upon 5 multiplied by 3 upon 4, this will be equal to 3 upon 4 into 2 upon 5. This will give you 6 upon 20 is equal to 6 upon 20. It means LHS is equal to RHS. Therefore, rational numbers can be multiplied in any order. Okay, now come to the next point. Fourth, rational numbers are not commutative under division. Under division, we can verify it by taking the example. We can verify this by taking two numbers, say 8 upon 3 divided by 2 upon 5 is equal to 2 upon 5 divided by 8 upon 3. We will get 8 upon 3 multiplied by 5 upon 2 is equal to 2 upon 5 multiplied by 3 upon 8. And it will be 40 upon 6 is equal to 6 upon 40. That is not equal. So LHS not equal to RHS. Therefore, we can say that rational numbers cannot be divided in any order. Rational numbers cannot be divided in any order. Okay.
Start.
Now we will discuss third property, that is associative property. Okay. Number C, associative property. Associative property. First one. Number one is rational numbers are associative rational numbers are associative under